up, Fallible Nation? Welcome to Fallible Nation Live. Man, I'm psyched about tonight. I missed you guys last week. I'm so sorry. I got food poisoning like part of the way through the day, and I just couldn't do the show. And it drove me nuts because I love doing Fallible Nation Live, guys. You guys make this so much fun. I love hanging out with you guys. I just realized I don't have like half my lights on. See what happens when I get sick? My brain stops working. Let me know that you guys can see me okay, and let us know you're here. Join in the comment section. Guys, what is strength as a man? Right? That is tonight's really big question. Even with our strongman competition coming up at the Phoenix, that's not what we're talking about. We get really cool images of like Eddie Hall deadlifting a half ton or Brian Shaw towing a plane if you're a strongman fan. We have pictures of Phil Heath on the Arnold stage, and even Arnold himself in his prime, man, which was just a physical, impressive specimen. Like just the proportions were insane, right? Big, strong dudes. But for a lot of men, strength is everything, and it's the courage we naturally have, right? It makes sense, but it's not all about physical strength. Physical strength is merely one piece of strength when it comes to being a man. In a time when masculinity is under attack, when boys don't have a real dividing line between man and boy, what does it take to be a strong man in today's society? How do you even define the concept? Well, in this episode of Fallible Nation Live, guys, we're going to delve into 10 simple truths about what being a strong man includes. And no, we're not talking about like some kind of competition. Like I said, we're getting into what actually being strong looks like. So share this with your friends and get out your checklist. Let's see how we all measure up, right? Present company included. Let's see how we all measure up as we get into tonight's show and look at 10 ways or 10 tips to be a strong man in today's world. All right, guys, now listen up. Questions are open. Not only can you ask questions during the show by putting the nice little QQ in the chat and jump in the chat, man, the comment section is my favorite place to hang out. It gets me like, I get sidetracked if you watch the show very often because I love watching your conversation going in the chat because Fallible Nation Live is all about hanging out and interacting with the Fallible Nation. So jump in the chat, let us know you're here, sound off, and join the conversation. Makes the show a lot more fun, but you can put questions there, right? Put a little QQ. I see Jared and I see Dave. See you guys there. Thanks for being on tonight, guys. I love it when the nation comes together. But you can put that QQ in there and that helps Sarah see it if you got a question. There's also on whatever platform you're watching this on, Facebook or YouTube tonight, there is a link in the show description. And it's so if you want to ask a question live during our Q&A, like come on air, you can fill out that form. That lets us know that you want to come on. Also, you can choose that you don't want to come on, but you can leave a question there to make sure your question gets answered in case you got to jump off early. I've also added a new section right on the front page of our website where you can leave a question at any time during the week, guys. It's there 24 hours a day. If you have a question, like wake up and be like, man, I want to have this answered on Fallible Nation Live, but it's a week away. Go to my website, leave me a question there, and we will answer on the next show. This is what we do Fallible Nation Live for mainly, is to be able to interact with you guys and hang out and be part of the community because I love hanging out with you guys. Dave says he can't be here much anymore. Got a meeting right about this time. You know, schedules happen, brother, and that's the beautiful thing about YouTube and Facebook. You can always come back and catch the rest of the show. I appreciate that you are here. Now, you guys are going to have to listen close, or you might find this on Rumble later, just in case, because I'm probably going to step on some toes tonight. We know I like to do the toe smashing, and the wrath of the YouTube overlords may fall on us for the show. If it does, find it on Rumble later, and if it doesn't transfer over there, I'll just record it later again. But I'm sure someone's going to take issue with what I have to say because people take issues with everything, and especially anything that has a hint of truth to it these days. So one of my favorite scenes in, I think, all of movies, and if you've ever watched the show much, you know I'm a movie fan. If you're new, hey, I'm a movie nerd, guys. I love movies. I always have. One of my favorite all-time scene is this transcendent conversation between the characters of Katsumoto and Nathan Algren in the movie The Last Samurai. Now, I know it was based on a book that's based on a little story, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Okay. They're sitting there talking in this temple courtyard at Katsumoto's village. He's a samurai. And he says, a man could spend his whole life searching for the perfect cherry blossom, and it would not be a wasted life. The character of the samurai exudes all things we generally consider masculine. He's a warrior, a poet, a family man, a servant, a protector, a provider, a scholar, and he's devoted to perfecting all the areas of his life to become the ultimate version of himself. And he has this deep devotion in everything in his life. It's not just that 20 years ago that stands out to me, right? When I first saw it 20 years ago, this conversation replays in my mind all the time as I see broken men around me, and I see the broken man in the character of Nathan Algren find a place of clarity of what's missing in his life in this movie as he looks at the way they focus on the world and the way they see things, right? As he watches these people who are dedicated solely to their professions and to their lives, right? Whether it's serving tea properly or mastering their sword or building something in their community. They do dramas and poetry and music, right? But they devote themselves to perfection, whatever they are pursuing. And it's this really just incredible scene that really stands out to me because it really does embody all things that are masculine. Now, I know that we don't have to fight with a sword anymore, and that lifestyle, to some extent, doesn't exist, at least in that way. However, there's a lot to it that really sets a standard for what a man is in this day and age. When I say a strong man, like I said, I'm not talking about a strongman competition or being physically strong. That is one aspect of being a strong man. But there is a lot more to your mental, emotional, moral, and spiritual code that has to be present to be a really strong man in society. You have to be more than just physical. So let's jump right into this list, guys. With number one, you need to adapt a moral code. You can't survive without one. You may not be a religious individual. You may not be a philosophical person. Maybe you are. Maybe you practice faith, practice philosophy, practice basic human decency. The fact is, every man needs a code. John Wayne said it best when he said, a man's got to have a code, a creed to live by, no matter what his job. Now, I get it. John Wayne's a character. Katsumoto is a character loosely based on a character in history. But we can learn a lot from fiction, and we can learn a lot from history and other things, right? I believe in being a student of all things around you. And so we can take in knowledge wherever it's found. It doesn't have to be a, biography or something like that. And John Wayne, or Mary Michael Morrison, whatever you want to call him, a man's got to have a code, a creed to live by, no matter his job. A man can't do anything if he doesn't know where he stands and what he believes. There's a lot of fact in that statement. It's a lot of truth in that statement, whether you agree with it or not. Men in particular need a higher belief system to be able to process the world and to thrive. It's hardwired into the way we're created, the way we exist. But the very core of a man, men need a higher code to live by and a higher belief system, something that they can serve a bigger picture, or they don't function well. Now, you can look that up all you want. You can disagree with me all you want, but I promise you, do the research and you will find that this is an absolute truth. Number two, guys, learn to love silence. Spend time there every single day. People are terrified by silence. Most are afraid to be alone with their own thoughts for more than a few minutes. You can meditate, you can pray, you can do breathing exercises, all of which are good things. Whatever you do, master the silence. The world is insanely busy and loud, 24 hours a day. That's the world we live in at this point. We live in a 24/7 society. No matter where you live, life is always just a doorstep away. Make peace with yourself and embrace the silence, and you will fare better than most. Relish the quiet. Use it to bring your mind into focus and stillness, and you will be unstoppable. If you can master yourself in the silence, if you can learn to be comfortable there, to feel safe there, to let it draw focus and presence, you are beyond scarily powerful. Most people, we put people into solitary confinement as a punishment because we're afraid to be alone and we're afraid of silence. Guys, if you can master the silence as a man, you will have a strength that most people don't comprehend. I guarantee it. Let's jump in there. I see Shirley's joined in. Hey, Shirley, thanks for coming on tonight. I see Corey Smith. Corey, welcome to the show. I don't know if you watched it before. I haven't seen your name, but hey, thanks for jumping in tonight, man. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for jumping in the conversation. We love having people join us here on Fallible Nation, and it's great to have you here. So thank you for jumping in. Guys, as you know, quick announcement, the Phoenix Conference is coming up. It's this week, guys. The Phoenix Conference is next weekend, Friday and Saturday. If you're not familiar with the Phoenix Conference is our virtual and live event that happens once a year. It is the 10th and 11th. Friday, it's like 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. And then all day Saturday, guys. Tickets are still available. Join us virtual. Join us live. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, we're in Central Washington area. So if you're in the area of the North Central Washington, join us live. If not, we have a great virtual event going on simultaneously, same speakers. It happens in real time together. It's going to be an awesome event this year. We are seeking purpose as men. What is your purpose? It's different than mine, but we want to help you either find your purpose or learn to live in alignment with your purpose, because men are powerful and they live fuller, more complete lives when they align with what their purpose is. And so we want to support you and arm you in that. We've got 6 authors, 2 TED speakers. Guys, it's an incredible lineup, and it's going to be an awesome event. So join us at the Phoenix this weekend. I'd love to meet some of you there. That would be really cool. I'll be both in the physical event and on the virtual event, on and off. So I will meet you if you're coming to the event, whether you're virtual or in person. I just can't wait to see you guys. Number 3, build a home and protect it at all costs. Now, a man's natural inclination is to build a foundation and a dwelling, a house, a farm, a castle, acreage or not. Men want to build a place that's his. Okay. Now that's a dwelling. That's somewhere where he can put all his stuff, everything he works for, everything he earns, everything he builds. A home is what the people you bring into that castle make it. It doesn't matter if you live in a box or a mansion. A man's house becomes sacred when he fills it with those that make it a home. The house can burn. The home is the reason he built it in the first place, is to put what is his community, his house, his home together. Now, some people never achieve this. If you do, protect it at all cost. Once you actually develop a home, it is your job to protect that and keep it safe and make it last in every way, emotionally, physically, mentally. You have to support that home. Don't ever stop fighting for it. It's the reason you keep getting up, and it'll give you strength that you never imagined possible. Now, I understand maybe you're in a state where you're single and you're building that home still. That's fine. That's awesome. Build a home. Fill it with people. You're not married? That's okay. Fill it with people. People are your brothers. People are your tribe, your friends that are so close, that are so dear to you. They're the brothers you can call 24 hours a day. Those people being in your house, coming and going, having a place for them to meet, to unify together, that's a home. Doesn't matter if you're married or not. That's just one version of that home, right? I had brothers and a sister growing up, and them being there, that's still home. So understand, I'm not saying you have to be married. I'm saying the people you bring in it, the people who support you, that care for you, that you got your back, They make a house a home. So build your home. You need it, and it will give you the strength you need to get through this life. Number 4, never stop growing. Life is a continuous path towards your purpose. Even when you find your purpose, the work must continue. You cannot complete your objectives you will have if you stop growing, right? Just because you align with your purpose and you find your purpose doesn't mean you can stop moving forward. It just means you have a better direction of what you can do with it and what you're meant to do with it. You are a culmination of all your experiences, your knowledge, your decisions, everything that's happening in your life. If you stop growing, you limit what you can be, what you can achieve, and who you are meant to be. You put self-limiting factors in, and that's never great. That's a lot of mouthfuls, guys. And so I'm going to go to number 5 because you are quiet. Hey, like I said, put in a QQ. If you have a question, let us know. We'll get to the Q&A portion of the show. Let us know you're with us. We love hanging out with you guys and talk to each other. I'm not the most interesting person in the room. I guarantee it. You guys are awesome. So, community is what we're big on here. Number 5, learn to stand alone on your principles and beliefs. If someone comes along, that's nice, but never need them to come along. Once you know what you believe, what you hold dear, what's important to you, you must learn to stand solidly on your own. Yes, it's always better with a person. It's incredible when someone stands with you, but you can't count on their resilience. You can count on your resilience. Most people will flake out on you. They'll fail on you. They'll quit on you. They'll abandon you. And those people were never truly beside you. They just acted like they wanted to be beside you, but they didn't have the fortitude to see it through. Resilience is not common. Resilience is something most people need to grow in, most people need to develop, most people need to work on in their lives. So few are ready to die on the hill that they stand on, and very few actually know what hill they're ready to stand on. Know what you believe in. Know what's important to you. Know what you hold dear. Stand tall, stand proud, stand fast, and alone if necessary. If someone chooses to stay by your side, prize that person because they're rare. There is super rarity in this world. If they choose to stay beside you, to labor beside you, and stand by your side, but be ready to stand on your own for your principles and beliefs, because at the end of the day, that's what you've got to hold on to. That's what's there. That's what actually matters, what you're ready to stand for. Because if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. It's that interested. And that simple. We'll see if I can get my wording right tonight. Now, before we go too crazy, I got to jump into one of our sponsors because, we got to pay the bills, right? So we're going to jump over to GhostBed and we'll be right back. How well do you sleep at night? Do you toss and turn and wake up more tired than when you went to bed? Sleep is commonly one of the critical elements people fall short on in their life. The quality of sleep you get directly affects your ability to control your weight, your ability to add muscle, your stress levels, and your everyday job and life performance. If you're ready to move to the next level, then sleep has to be part of the plan. Check out our friends at ghostbed.com if you're ready to get your best sleep. I love my ghost bed. I've been sleeping on one for a couple of years and has made a huge difference in how I sleep. Hit ghostbed.com and use the code TheFallibleMan30 to get 30% off your order and start getting better night's sleep tomorrow. Now, let's go on to the show. Who was that? Just, great looking man. Wow. He should be in paid advertising. No, just kidding, guys. Number 6, guys, take care of yourself physically forever. It's your last defense. Man is born with one amazing advantage over women. Our bodies were designed to thrive in adversity and difficulty. You only get one body, but it's your safety net. So you got to take care of it. You can fall back on a strong body to protect you, to find work, to endure difficulty, to have physical resilience. By its very design, it gets stronger and more powerful the harder we work. If you neglect it, you will lose fast and you will pay big and it will take a toll. One of the things we're really bad about as men is we jump in and the first thing we give up on is taking care of ourselves, right? As life gets busy, as life gets hard, as bills stack up, we got to go to this job, we got to pay the bill, right? The first thing that goes when we're taking care of our life is we tend to let our bodies go. We stop eating as healthy, and that 20-year-old belly doesn't hold up because our metabolism goes and it's bad and it's no good, right? Life catches up with you. I love 20-year-old influencers telling me how to get skinny. It's like, you've never been fat, dude. I'm sure you know something. I just don't know what it is. But your body catches up, right? Time takes a toll. I'm 43 years old. I've lived a very full, active life. I've broken a lot of things. I've torn a lot of things. I've done a lot of damage over the years. And trust me, there are days my body reminds me, is like, hey, knucklehead, remember this one? Yeah. Oh, it hurts to get out of bed? Yeah. Remember that time we went out doing this and you thought it was great fun? Yeah, this is that. Okay. Take care of that body because as men, that's something that we can always fall back on, right? I can't guarantee necessarily that I can keep a job in IT, right? If the economy tanks bad or something. But guess what? I have a strong body. I can always go dig ditches. I can always go push a broom. A physically strong body allows you to have that secondary and tertiary line of defense when the economy goes bad, when things happen, when problems occur, right? I got a friend working like 3 jobs. Hey, physical body, you can't do that. They need more money. They feel like they need more money. Taking on a 3rd job, taking care of himself physically allows him to endure short rest periods and long days at work with multiple jobs. So you can't ever give up on that. It's the only one you got. You will pay for it either upfront or you'll pay for it really hard on the back end as your body ages out. Hey, Twisted Designers, jump in. What's up, brother? Good to see you tonight. Thanks for coming in. We are digging into our tips for being a strong man, 10 simple truths to be a strong man in this world at this point. It's not just a matter of physicality. There's a lot more involved in that. And so share these tips with people, share these with the young men in your life. Let these be base lessons for them to start learning early. Number 7, find a healthy outlet for your emotions. You have as many emotions as anyone else. Just never be a slave to them. Have control to not let them dictate your actions. This is achieved through self-mastery, which includes a healthy way to process them and handle them. It can be creative, such as art, journaling, writing, building. I get like, and I sometimes just have to design, right? That's where a lot of my shirt designs come from, is my brain is just, and I'm frustrated and I'm tired and I need an outlet, and creativity is a big outlet for me. It can be aggressive. Play a sport, take up martial art, hit the weights, hit the punching bag. It can be productive. Chop wood, clean the house, do the lawn, do some volunteer work. It's really hard to have negative emotions when you're serving people. It really is. Find a way to let it out. Holding it inside will just eventually destroy you in some spectacular way. Okay. Guys who don't have healthy outlets for their emotions make stupid emotional decisions. And while I'm not a total advocate for stoicism as a complete following, there are some really valid points to the stoic outlook on emotions. And one of them is keeping your emotions in check. Losing control of negative emotions is how you end up in prison, because you make rash decisions or strongly emotional decisions and decide to punch out that guy instead of walk away. So find a healthy outlet for your emotions if you're going to be a strong man in this world. Number 8, read, and read some more. Mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone if it's to keep its edge. That is why I read so much. George R.R. Martin, through the character of Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones. I don't care if you like Game of Thrones. I don't care if you watch Game of Thrones. Tyrion was a dwarf. He was an outcast in that world. Most families would have let him die, but he was born to a highborn family. And so Tyrion reads all the time. And one of the main characters, Jon Snow, asks him, was like, why are you always reading? And this is his response. A mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone. If you don't know what a whetstone is, a whetstone is the way you sharpen a proper blade. This is, if it's to keep his edge, a mind needs books like the sword needs a whetstone. That's why I read so much. You never should stop learning. And the freest and easiest way to do it, guys, is books. Books, 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 books. America has the best library system in existence. We may not have everything perfect. I'm pretty fond of America, but I'll admit we don't have everything perfect. But one of the things that was better about this country that they've done, that our forefathers and some of our early leaders did, was establish a library system. And there is no end to what you can learn in books. And now you can get them in audiobook. You can get them online. If you can buy them a number of places, you can have them shipped to your door if you got the money for it. Reading is one of the most powerful things you'll ever do. It can take a person with no feasible skills, right, and turn them into a millionaire with time and dedication if you're willing to read and learn from what you read. The mind must be exercised to stay sharp. Though it's not actually a muscle, it functions a lot like a muscle in this way. The more you use it, the better, the stronger, the more effective it becomes. Having a good conversation helps build your mind, but there's nothing so magically powerful as reading a book. It's truly amazing because reading some books will make you smarter than others, right? There's different kinds of books, but actually reading anything from the newspaper to just, small little kids' books to fiction will still sharpen your mind 10 times to that someone who does not read will ever achieve. Now, obviously, you can read like books on educational things, right? How to do better business, books on finance, books on developing certain skills, and those are going to make you smarter faster. But the fact is, you can pick up a good George R. Martin novel, or your favorite, whoever wrote the Bourne series, right? You can pick up a Tolkien book, right? J.R.R. Tolkien. Just introduced my kids to Lord of the Rings. You can pick up a Tolkien novel, and though it's fiction, reading that book will actually exercise your mind and make you smarter. So don't ever stop reading. Now, guys, before we hit the rest of the list, I don't have a video for it. I haven't loaded it to this account yet, but I want to tell you about our friends over at Grow Your Show. If you enjoy podcasting and want to explore the concept of podcast, maybe you enjoy podcast, maybe you're looking to expand your business and you think a podcast would be beneficial, and you would be right. Podcasting is a great expansion of a lot of businesses. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you listen to podcasts and you're like, hey, I think I got something to say. You need to go visit my friends over at growyourshow.com. I work with growyourshow.com. They do my marketing for this show, for my podcast, the Fallible Man podcast. And Adam and his team are top notch. And if you want a place where they're going to take the work out of it for you, literally it's a one-stop shop if you want to do a podcast. So if you're interested in podcasting, go to growyourshow.com, talk to my friend Adam. He's going to take care of you, tell him you heard about him from the Fallible Man. I don't get a commission for that. I do business with this man. He is my friend. I was texting him with him earlier. He's become my friend because he pays that much attention to his clients. We didn't start out as friends. So check out Adam if you're interested in doing that. You can hit record your podcast, and drop it with them, and they will do the rest for you. It's incredible what they do, and they have an amazing team. They're one of our show sponsors, so I wanted to shout them out because I believe what they're doing, or I want to share them with you. Number 9, guys. Death before dishonor. Now, I know that's a term you associate with the military, and we see it on the old Green Beret movies. Live a life with integrity. Be a man of your word. Be a friend that you wish someone was to you. Integrity, honor, steadfast courage. So many words come to mind with this old military saying. I even have that on one of my old jackets from the military. Death before dishonor. It is simply this. Be a man known for keeping by and abiding by his word and doing right. This is currency that's more powerful than all the gold in the world. Be a man of character and die before you tarnish that. That is one of the only things you can completely, truly own is your character. People will flock to you. Men will want to be around you without even understanding why. People are drawn to it. Women will want to keep your company. So, hey, if you're, looking for a female friend, this doesn't hurt your chances. People will look up to you. They won't even know why. Most won't even know what it is about you. But being a man of character, a man who is known for keeping his word, abiding by his word, doing the right thing, a man of honor, will give you a value and a currency as a man that very few people have. It's a presence that you can't fake. It's a presence that you can't try and exude without actually living that life. But I promise you, it will make you stand leaps of bounds above the crowd as a man in this world. Number 10, seek discipline and accountability. We don't like those words, right? Discipline, we get negative connotations as soon as we picture that. Unless you have spent years around martial arts or been in martial arts, then it's got a slightly different connotation to you. But for a lot of people, discipline is no idea, right? And accountability. Iron sharpens iron according to the Bible. So embrace accountability. You don't have to believe in the Bible, but the principle stays the same. Build and maintain discipline until no one needs to hold you accountable because you're above reproach. Then keep working on it and welcome the accountability anyways. One of the most powerful things you can do as man is to surround yourself with other men who are on the same journey. That's what we're trying to do here at the Fallible Man, is walk with men who are on that same journey. One of the most powerful things you can do is surround yourself with men on a similar journey who will help you stay accountable to yourself, to your goals, to your intentions. That discipline and accountability will make you a force to be reckoned with. And it's absolutely integral. Now that, is that the right word? I'm trying to use big words. This is what happens when I get too tired. It's absolutely critical to what you're trying to do as you're trying to be a man, is seek discipline and accountability. It only makes your life better. It can be a little painful at the start. It can be a little harsh. When someone calls you out, man, that cannot feel good. But one of the most powerful things I've done for myself in the last year is become part of a couple of groups that I'm surrounded by other men who are like-minded. And man, I look forward to those meetings. I look forward to those times together. Whether it's my mastermind that I am a part of in my business group, or whether it's the Bible study I go to on a regular basis, those men hold me accountable and make me sharper. They make me a better person. And I look forward to the time with them because I'm a better person because of that accountability and that discipline. Now, guys, I hate to drop things at 10 because I just like to overdo things. So we've got a number 11 for you. Before we jump into number 11, like I said, tickets are still available for the Phoenix guys. It is this Friday and Saturday. I know I keep pushing it. It's my event. Honestly, it's all about you're going to miss out. We have brought you some of the most incredible speakers that I have worked with in the last couple of years. It will be a weekend that will change your life radically. If you're physically able to join us and you're in the area, I promise you, you do not want to miss this. And even if you're not physically with us, guys, the virtual event, we have invested in our virtual platform this year to make it an even more incredible experience. I know Jared's on here. He was at our virtual event. We have upped the game so much since our last event that I promise you it will be utterly changing. And our virtual attendees, you know what? They get some one-on-ones with our speakers that even our people who are present don't get. So get your tickets, guys. They're still available. That is coming up. It's going to be an incredible weekend. Number 11, be a monster, but make sure few people ever see it. Long before Jordan Peterson's quote was ever spoken out loud, the fact remained: harmless men are not good men. Harmless men did not build the nation. Harmless men didn't end slavery. Harmless men didn't explore and conquer the world. They didn't sail the sea and find new lands. Harmless men didn't defend freedom. They didn't settle the wildernesses and make it places where people could live and thrive. Harmless men didn't take us to space. Hard men with self-control exercised their best judgments and plunged ahead. A harmless man cannot protect, nor provide, and is unable to preside because he will not be worthy of respect in the eyes of those around him that is required to preside. The wolves are always at the door. People are always going to try and get your goat. They're going to try and get your dander up, whatever term you want to use. And there will always be bad people in the world. Be slow to anger. Be slow to react. Don't react emotionally, but be capable of great I can't say that word or YouTube will absolutely take this down. Be capable of not being harmless, being the opposite of harmless. Okay. Let's go there. If I use the other word, YouTube will take down the video before I even finish recording this. Love those YouTube overlords, right? Be slow to anger, but be capable of being extremely not harmless. Let's say it that way. Oh, I hate playing this game. And that is my list for you guys tonight. What do you think? Did I miss something? Is there something I need to add to that list? Is this a list that you would share with your friends? Do you agree with me? I love to get your ideas on this. I love to get your input on this. I don't know what it is. The last couple of weeks, you guys have been really quiet in the comment section. It's kind of crazy. I'm not used to this. You guys are normally so chatty. And I'm not seeing any questions in the question forum. So guys, if we don't got any questions tonight, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I know how incredibly valuable your attention is. I know, oh, yes, we will jump into this. I know that it takes a lot to take time out of your schedule to join us. So I am grateful for the time you spend with us. Corey asked, integrity and accountability are such a valuable skill. It makes you vulnerable, but strong at the same time. Great list. Do any on the list stand out more than others? You know, I will say I honestly really, there was a lot of elbow grease and thought. I've been working on this show for several weeks, actually, long before I ever planned on doing it last week, because I wanted to get down to a base of what do I really believe is critical. And I think foundationally, I'd have to say adapt a moral code, because everything else we talked about in this list will process forward from that. What you decide to believe and stand on and define yourself by, that moral code, that creed that you choose, will actually really dictate a lot of these other traits and these other strengths, these truths, right? Depending on the moral code you adapt, the creed you decide to live by, some of these are just foregone conclusions by a lot of moral codes, right? Like finding a healthy outlet for your emotion, right? That's most moral codes are going to dictate that you have to do that at some point, right? Death before dishonor, that is present in a lot of moral codes, are creeds that you would choose to live by. So I'd say that stands out the most to me at this point is finding that so many people have no idea what they believe in. So many people have no idea, for lack of a better term, what hill they're prepared to die on. Finding that and firmly setting yourself into that creed, that code, will help you not only in everything else in this list, but it will help define how you live your life and what you do with it. So if I'm going to isolate one, I'm going to say that's it. Thank you for asking, Corey. I love questions. Like I said, I actually do this live stream for the sole point, because I put out 2 podcasts a week, guys. I do this for the sole point of I love to interact with you. And that's the only thing I hate about the podcasting platform is I just don't get to interact with my listeners as much. And I love that part. I love to be able to interact and talk. That's why we have Fallible Nation. If you have a Facebook account and you're not part of Fallible Nation, we have our private men's group, Fallible Nation, on Facebook. You just got to reach out and we'll bring you in. Simple rules to live by, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, join us there. That's always a place to have a conversation. And guys, I don't know if you're familiar. There's an app called Wisdom, and Wisdom is becoming my favorite platform by far. I absolutely love Wisdom. Other than my podcast directly, Wisdom is a audio-based app. It started on iPhone. I believe it's on iPhone and Android now. Anybody can have an account there. And it's a place where people go to ask other people for opinions and advice and thoughts on things that they're wondering about. That's why it's called the Wisdom app. You can leave a person a question, like you can directly ask me a question, even if I'm not on, and it will send me that question and I will record an audio answer that will go posted across the whole app, but you will get notified immediately when I answer your question. You can also I do live events on there, and I can actually have people come on and become part of the conversation. So I love that app. If you guys haven't tried it, if you're interested in it, check out the Wisdom app. I'm at the Fallible Man there, just like I am everywhere else. But it's one of the reasons I love that app and recommend that app is because I love the platform and I love being able to actually converse with people as we're doing these talks. What's up, Oliver? I see Oliver's jumping on. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for jumping in. We're getting ready to wrap this one up, man. And you know what? Exclusive thing I haven't shared yet, just for you guys here on the live stream tonight. So here it is. We just did the biggest collaboration we have ever done, and it is coming out on the podcast Wednesday. It is an incredible collaboration with 4 other podcasters, including my good brother Oliver, who just jumped on. Oliver and Denise have an amazing YouTube channel on relationships. I've done several collaborations with Oliver and Denise and absolutely love to work with them. Oliver's also coming out to speak at the Phoenix conference, so you can meet him in person and get to know him better as well. But we have an incredible collab coming out for you guys this Wednesday. If you have ever had questions about working with your spouse, this is the show for you guys. We pulled together 4 amazing podcasting couples who all work together with their spouses, and we answered your questions. That show will be out Wednesday. It's going to be amazing. I guarantee you don't want to miss that one. It was my mom was making fun of me earlier when I was editing because I was stopping and laughing as I was editing because it was just so much fun to listen to it again as I was editing. It was just such an incredible collaboration, so much fun. So guys, look forward to that Wednesday. I haven't told anybody. I told people I've released the other 2 podcast guests, but I hadn't told anybody. Oliver and Denise. Actually, I'm releasing that tomorrow, I think. But yes, guys, it's going to be an awesome conversation that you will absolutely enjoy. It was killer to do. So much fun. Guys, thank you for your time. Like I said, your time means so much to me. I know what a precious currency that is. So thank you for spending time with Fallible Nation. As always, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. We'll see you on the next one.